Hello and welcome to my Sword and Shield Skip tutorial. Sword and Shield Skip is often considered one of the biggest gatekeepers to learning the speedrun, so I just want to say don't get discouraged if it's something you don't quite pick up right away. First thing I wanted to show here is just a start to finish example of what a successful attempt at this trick looks like. The gist of this trick is moving this Boblin, known as Hugo, over to a Midna trigger, which will tell you to go get the sword and shield from their original locations in order. Due to back in time, this is not something we can still do, which leaves us needing to do this trick. If done correctly, you'll find yourself in a cutscene rather than just being talked to by Midna. Jumping right into it, the first thing you want to do is line yourself up with this black line here. The black line is easier to see if you turn on your sense. I'm going to pause here and highlight the black line to make it easier for you to see. Next, we're going to try and position Hugo between the black line from earlier and a white dot that's behind that. This is where things get a little bit tricky. You're going to want to look for where exactly he is between the white dot and the black line. If he's too far beyond the white dot, you're not going to be able to do the trick, and if he's too close to the black line, it's also not going to work. What changes based on his position is whether or not you're going to want to hold back to keep yourself from sliding, or whether or not you're going to want to slide before doing the second attack. You also need to make sure that he is actually facing you and that you are up against the wall. Here you can see he's on the edge of the white dot, but not completely past it, meaning we're going to want to hold back before we do the second attack. First, we need to get out of the way of his swing and do the first jump attack. The next thing I want to talk about is timing the first attack. You want to make sure to time it as Hugo's club is out in front of him. I usually look to see it kind of clipping through the ground here. So earlier I showed an example of what the trick looks like kind of further to the right and more of Hugo being closer to the white dot. This example, he's further to the left, closer to the wall, and he's going to be closer to the black line. Now, due to Hugo being closer to the black line, you're going to want to make sure to slide a little bit before doing the second attack. The next few clips are going to be examples of me failing the trick. I also want to pinpoint what exactly the trick is failing. This will help you diagnose what you're doing wrong with the trick and allow you to make amendments. In this last clip, Hugo was towards the front, meaning that I needed to slide, but unfortunately I slid a little bit too long and ended up hitting the trigger. Here we have another example of Hugo being back on the white dot. Due to him being that far back, we're going to want to hold back on the joystick as we land. That will keep us from sliding. However, due to Hugo being so far back, we're going to have to jump in a very small frame window. And in this example, I unfortunately go late and do not get the long jump attack. Here we have an opposite scenario where Hugo is actually close to the black line. Therefore, we're going to want to slide before the second attack, but sliding too long means you won't get the long jump attack anymore. This time I want to show one more example of the trick actually working, just to kind of show how far to the right Hugo can be for the trick to still work. Lastly, I just want to say that this trick is extremely complicated, especially for something that happens so quickly, and in my experience it's something you kind of have to develop a feel for. And that's just something that comes with time and practice. Thank you for watching my video, and I really hope it helps. If you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up on my stream or in my Discord, and I'll happily be there to help.